Okay guys, so today we're going to do a fly machine. We will do dumbbell flies properly, cover all those things, cable crossovers, but today it's going to be a fly machine. Again, we're going to show you how to do it correctly, get the absolute most out of the exercise for chest, because a lot of people on this exercise, they tend to involve the shoulders an incredible amount, and even the biceps as well. And you'll know what I mean once we start the set. So we'll talk through all those differences, where your body needs to be, where your arms need to be, and making sure you're involving the pecs as much as you possibly can to get the absolute most out of it. George is going to do an actual proper set on it today again, so you can see exactly what it should be done and to what level of intensity for one set to be more than enough. We much prefer compounded type movements to get the most out of it, but obviously isolations are still great exercises. You can still progress a lot on them, so we wanted to involve them as much as we can as well. But certainly the fly machine is a great exercise when done correctly, so we'll get George to warm up and things, and then we'll crack on with the proper set. So main things, keep the shoulders really down and back against the pad. Wrists nice and straight, very slight bend in the elbow to take the stress off, and then the main thing is that this arm shape doesn't change. It should be the same all the way through, because what people tend to do is bend a lot more as they're going back, and then when they get to the contracting position from about 3/4, they bend their arms like that to bring it in and take it off the pecs. Okay, so it literally should be basically like Arnold said, like hugging a big tree, and then the arm shape should never change. So don't shrug the shoulders up, make sure they're nice and down, you're really back against the pad. And then that slight bend in the arm to take stress off, but that bend doesn't change. Okay, wrist straight, and then really focus on pushing the elbows away from yourself, like we always do on chest, and then squeezing them in as you come back through the pecs. Okay, so really pushing away, slightly up if anything, but still keeping the shoulders down. Okay, so really force them elbows away, George, slightly up. And squeeze. Yep, looks good. Do a couple more of those, mate, just to get enough blood through. Okay, so George is warmed up. I think he's ready to go. So we're going to bring him in and we're going to blast out a proper set of fly machine. Okay, George, so remember, down and back. Okay, this firmly pushed away and slightly up. Okay, just enough. Squeezing from the chest, not the grips. No more bending the arm and back. So squeeze. Now, when you get there, squeeze that chest really hard. It's not just holding it. Then slowly back from that squeeze. Pushing the elbows away, keeping the shoulders down and back. When you feel this pec stretch, take a pause, then squeeze from there. Super hard squeeze, slowly back. Don't speed up. Pause. Now engage this first, then drive harder. Hold it. Now slow. Now this time when it wants to speed up naturally, fight that bit. Through the pecs. Keep your breathing going. Big breath in. Release it as we squeeze. Squeeze that chest really hard. Now focus on them points. Shoulders down and back. Elbows pushed away and slightly up. It's all through the pecs. Forget the grip. Now flex it. Squeeze super hard. Tension it back, George. This is good. This is good. Just the rep we're doing. That is all that matters. Pause. Now squeeze that chest. Really hard flex of that chest. Now slowly back. Keep the breathing going. Big breath in at the bottom. Now squeeze through. That's it. Just fill up them lungs a bit more by the time we get into the bottom, George. Slow. Keep them elbows pushed away slightly up. Shoulders down. Stay there. Now engage the chest first before we start the drive. Now drive hard. Big squeeze. Slowly back. Slowly back. Just the rep we're doing. Keep the focus. Squeeze. Slowly back. Slowly back. Control. Keep breathing. Big breath in. Remember, engage this first before you squeeze. Now drive hard. Big squeeze, slowly back. Don't give up now. Don't speed up. Tension, pause, engage it. Now squeeze. Big flex, slowly back. Don't let this bit speed up now. Shoulders down, elbows away. Now crush that chest. Here we go, right through. Slowly back, George, you can do it. Breathe. Keep the tension. Engage the pecs. Don't change the form now. Stay there with me. Drive, keep driving. Slowly back. Shoulders down, George. Great set this. Keep the elbows up. Now squeeze the pecs. Here we go. Keep driving. Don't let the power off. Everything, George. Everything. Come on, keep it driving. Absolutely everything you got. Finish it. Right, best negative you can. Shoulders down, elbows away. Fight it right to the bottom. Good set, George, well done. Good effort. Feel that one. Okay, so George is just recovering in the background from his set. So, as you saw there, he never came forward, because as soon as you come forward, the front delts are taking over, which is why loads of people stack machines, and what they do is they tend to rock backwards and forwards. They also, as I said, tend to get to about here and then bend their arms in, which is just bringing the biceps in, and again they're rocking forward with the delts. So the chest is out of the movement, and this is the best bit. That's your peak contraction where the most fibres are involved. So it needs to be chest all the way through, keeping yourself back and elbows tweaked away slightly up, so it's as much on the pecs as possible. This will work the chest fully. Don't let people tell you that I need to do another different fly for my chest to make sure I'm hitting the upper pecs. Nonsense. There's no way when you're pushing to the level of intensity George has that only a certain section of the chest has worked. I will never believe that, no matter who says so. No matter who says so. So push yourself as much as you can, but focus on the repetition that you're doing. That is the most important factor, not the amount you're going to get. People tend to focus on that so much, they get sloppy, and they particularly get sloppy on the last 2 or 3 repetitions, which is the most important point of the set. So the last rep should be like the first rep. Sorry, the last rep should be like the first rep in the sense of that nothing changes, okay? Just the effort's changing. You know, absolutely everything you can give on that last repetition. Push yourself like that. Don't go so heavy so you can't keep the form, but don't go so light so you're just going on forever. And again, just the rep you're doing, as much effort as you can, and trust me, you will grow. As long as you're eating and resting properly, just simply because when you're putting effort in like that, you have to grow. There's, you know, nothing else can happen. So have a go, guys, and let us know what you think. Okay, so I just wanted to add on to this fly video, so to speak, dumbbell flies. We are, again, I know I keep saying it, but we're always going to do videos on absolutely everything, so don't worry, things will be coming constantly. But I just wanted to show a little bit of a dumbbell fly. I'll get George to just do a couple of reps. The reason being is the form is pretty much the same as on the fly machine. There's just a few differences. The main difference is anytime you're using a machine or where there's a peak contraction type movement, where I'm talking about a constant tension through the movement, and you can get a contraction at the end, use the absolute full range of motion. I know I always say use a full range of motion, and you should on everything. However, with certain exercises, there's just a point where tension comes off, and it can be off for quite a period of time if you stay in that position, which on a fly, once you get to about shoulder width, the tension literally comes off the chest as you're squeezing the dumbbells together. Now, that won't necessarily be a problem, but the problem is you'll squeeze in and you pull it there a second and then you're coming back. So that's quite a long delay in between. Whereas something, say like, as an example, I don't know, a leg curl, where I've said to go all the way down, where some don't keep attention. Once that weight's touched and you've taken a second, you're back in. So that's way better because of the range of motion. With something like this, it's quite a long period of time in between, which is not what you want. So what I want you to do here is, as George will demonstrate, is when we come up, we're going to stop about shoulder width and still squeeze the chest, so you're squeezing right through to that point. There'll be a point when you might want to practice that you can feel the tension literally come off. That's the place you want to stop just before it doesn't squeeze for a second, and then we go back down into the stretch. So we'll get on with it and show you what to do. Okay, so we're going to bring George in now and we'll show you a couple of reps how to perform this properly. So as always with chest, whether it's a bar or a dumbbell, it should be directly above you. You'll naturally want to let it relax forward. It should be always directly above you. Wrists should point to the ceiling. What I mean by that is when you come down, don't let the wrists flop away from you. They should always be still pointing up to the ceiling, okay? We're going to put that same as we did on the fly machine, slight bend in the arm to take the pressure off the elbows. Okay, the shoulders again are going to be down and back. Where people go wrong with this when I explain it sometimes is they tend to have the shoulders shrugged up and the weight is coming back here, which is very dangerous on the shoulder. The only thing that should be is the elbows should be coming away and slightly back if anything, but keeping the shoulders down. So really focus on pushing those elbows away from yourself. Again, the arm bend does not change and you stay tight on the bench. So we're going to come down, we're going to get the absolute maximum stretch in the chest, we're going to pause a second, then we're going to squeeze through and flex the chest. Literally there, as you can see, his chest is flexing. We're coming there, there's nothing happening there now, it's come off. Okay, so we're slowly going to go back, pushing the elbows away, keeping the shoulders down, we're going to stretch, and we're going to squeeze, okay? What I don't want you to do either is start changing the shape of the dumbbells, just keep them there because that's keeping a lot of tension on the pecs. So again, it's coming out, feel it stretch, and then from there we're squeezing in and flexing the chest hard before we go into the next rep. And it's as simple as that.